Message.
Good morning. Yes, you can. I'm your host, Kelly Walker Slaughter of Warren First 931. We are live in Tops Frozen Yogurt in Metro Deli. And of course, today is really all about remembering and never forgetting about 9/11. Me and Lisa, right before we started, was talking about where we were. And, just to tap on that, I was in high school in 10th grade. And I was in second period English class. And that was the time when we had Channel One, and I don't know if they still have it or not, but they turned it on there, and we could see the one tower at the time on fire, like smoke's coming out, right? And then in real time, what do you call in real time as we see it reporting and things like that. Then we see because at the time and I might be getting the words wrong, but and Lisa can correct me. But they didn't know if this was an accident, like the first tower. They were like, "Oh, we don't know if it's an accident. Did something happen with the plane?" They said, they didn't know if we were under attack. And as the guy or gal was saying under attack, you see another plane coming in. And as I'm saying it, I'm getting cold chills even saying it. And it hits the second tower, and everybody's jaws just dropped. And I just thought, okay, this is not you. One time, that's a coincidence, like that's an accident to me. But the second time in the same building, no. And so I remember that. And of course, we got checked out of school and got to go home. And, with all the lives that were lost that day, the children's lives that were lost that day, the volunteers, the firefighters, the police department. And, even still to this day, I help support Tunnels to Tower, which is a great organization that helps people that was in that situation. They help people, families that lost their loved ones with electric bills, medical bills, things like that. And even some of the firefighters, and you can correct me if I'm wrong on this because I know a lot of people are still helping them with that as well, is the organizations that are funded, people are still trying to help the ones that got maybe sick from all that smoke that's still to this day having health issues because of that.
Correct.
But where were you on that day we were talking about?
I was dropping my youngest child off at daycare, and I'll never forget that morning. I
Mhm.
had to be in court in Woodbury. So I dropped my youngest son off, and my daycare provider was Gayla Owen. And Gayla said, "Oh my goodness, they just hit the towers." And I run into her living room area
Yeah.
and watched the TV
Yeah.
aspect, and it was you didn't even know what to say.
Mm-mm.
I drove on to
Yes.
work in to court in Woodbury, and I just had to be in silence.
Yeah.
It was like I couldn't have the radio on. I didn't want to hear anything because I think it was just disbelief
Yeah.
that this could happen. And I was very concerned because my nephew worked in those towers.
Right.
It took 3 days before I could find out if he was okay.
Mhm.
And he was very fortunate. That particular day, he worked about a block away, went to a different office about a block away. So it was quite frightening. And, it didn't just affect the people in New York, it
No.
affected the entire world.
Nation.
Yeah.
I agree.
We should never forget that day.
No, because and I don't care to say it because I am a big history person. I say the more we know and the more we don't forget about things, we will never be doomed to repeat history. But if we forget about it or try to erase history, I do feel like we would, repeat it. And we learn from these lessons that we see, whether we were in the wrong or in the right. We learn. But yeah, I will never forget that day. It was just a sad day, and I actually was fortunate. My niece got to go to New York to do a school fundraiser trip in 8th grade, and we got to visit the towers and how they've created the memorial around it with the I guess it would it be called like I don't want to call it a waterfall, but it looks like a waterfall. It's constant. It's ever moving. But you can go around in the towers and see the memorials and the names and to see how many it always bothers me about kids. Because of course at the bottom level is the daycare and how many children got lost. There's a lot of people that got lost, but kids, young adults that didn't get to see even a full life or half a life, I should say. I mean, it's just, but again, I also say this, as a Christian, God has a plan for everybody. We may not agree to it or understand it when it happens, but when it's our time, it's our time.
I went to that memorial as well, and one of the things that to me stood out was the fact that it was so quiet there.
Yeah.
You're in New York City, you're in
Mhm.
Manhattan, but right
It's
there
so
around the
loud, yeah.
towers is so silent. It's like
Mhm.
no one wants to talk. It's very emotional to go
Mhm.
there.
It is.
I also saw a post this morning on Facebook, and I liked it a lot because it said, we should all remember 9/11 by acting the way we did on 9/12.
Yep.
And you recall the way that people were, they were courteous, they
Yeah.
were respectful, they were nice to each other,
Yeah.
and that's what we're missing in today's world
Yeah.
is that niceness and that
The kindness. I
kindness.
agree 100%. But the reason also I invited Lisa here today is because coming up on October the 19th is the Caney Fork Board of Directors. And again, go out, if you are a Caney Fork Board member in the White, Warren, Van Buren, and DeKalb counties, I'm going to remember that. You need to go out and vote on October the 19th at the Milner Recreation Center, correct? Is that for all the counties to meet at this one location or
It
does
is.
okay. Because that's one thing a lot of people has been asking me, like yesterday when I was at the fair. I was like, well, I'll find out because I'm gonna have her here in the morning. And my first question to you, because you have been with us for quite some time here in Warren County, being the district attorney and everything, why are you wanting to become now a part of the Caney Fork Board of Directors?
Well, I have decided that, I wanted to be a Caney Fork board member because I care about this community.
Yeah,
I care about the members. I've been a member myself for 35 years,
yeah,
but I care about this community and I care about the people that work at Caney Fork.
yeah,
And I am a firm believer, if you have concerns and you want to make a difference, then you have to step out there and put yourself out there and do that. And so that's why I've decided to do such a thing. But
yeah.
I don't like politics. So at
Mhm.
least I'm glad this is not a political position.
Right.
However, it does require people to come out and vote.
Yeah. So you
And
got to do a little bit, like you say, political campaigning and get out there and talk. And one thing you've been talking to me about, if you are a an employee or maybe even a customer, aka a member of Caney Fork, and you have a concern, you are welcome to message me or call me at 931-305-0869, and I'll get the message to uh, Lisa to let her know, hey, the one of them that has been brought to my attention, which I'm just going to talk about now because we talked about it yesterday, was the retirement plan. You know, the benefits, some of them I'm hearing are not as happy as other retirement plans at other companies. Is that something you're going to look into?
I would like to review the
Yeah.
retirement plan and see if there are better plans out there to help the people that work at Caney Fork.
Yeah.
It's good to know that there's a date that you can retire at. It's sort of a motivating factor to keep you going every day.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure that they have that kind of a plan that they can say, when I get in 2 years, I can retire and I know that I'll be taken care of
Yeah. I
because
understand.
they take care of us.
They
I
do.
mean, when it gets cold and the ice storms come, I see them out, fixing the electricity, making sure that our lights are on and our heat is going. And
Hmm.
that's really important to the
Yeah.
community as a whole.
I agree because just like you said, whether the bad weather, meaning, storms hit and things like that, they don't get to punch out. They have to punch in when it's time. And they don't get to say no. I feel like, it's like a parent. Like when you become a parent, you can't knock on the door and be like, sorry, I'm not I'm not adulting today. But you always see those guys on the front line. They are just as important, I feel like, as the police department and the fire department. They're on up there with all those guys. Now, me and you have talked about this. Why do you feel like you are qualified for this position?
Well, I have a lot of life experience.
Hmm.
When I was 19, a lot of people don't know this, I had my very first business. I understand business.
Yeah.
I'm still in business today. I have a couple of businesses, plus I practice law, but I understand business because I've experienced a lot of it,
Mhm.
a lot of good things and a lot of bad things.
Yeah,
I also have a bachelor's degree in HR, human resources,
that's right.
which has always been helpful to me in understanding employees and how things work and relationships and
Yeah,
how important the employees are to any business.
right. Right.
Of course, most people know I have a law degree. I went to night school to get the law degree, and I have been involved in the community. I have been, well, for example, the Children's Advocacy Center.
Yeah,
You look at the facility that it is today, that's not the way it started.
yeah,
It was a very small facility, had basically no money, and no one knew where it was. And now today we have a facility that we own as a community.
yeah,
It's financially sound, and part of the reason it's financially sound is the involvement that I had with that center.
yeah,
I worked tirelessly
yeah,
to make sure it was nationally accredited,
yeah,
to get the building, to finance it. I started the Angels Autumn Fest Gala,
yeah,
which is a huge fundraiser
for them.
for that center.
Mhm.
I was also involved in the Kids of the Community Board of Directors. I was on that when it
Mm.
first started
Yeah, at the very
many years
beginning,
ago,
yes.
20 plus years
Isn't
ago.
that crazy? And
Uh,
see where it is today. I mean, everything's gotta start somewhere, you know?
it does.
I love that.
I'm also a member of the Morrison Rutan.
Mhm.
I am on the advisory board for the Black History Museum.
Okay.
I believe in this community.
Yeah.
And when I say this community, I mean Warren, Van Buren, White, DeKalb.
Mhm.
Everything that affects those counties affects each one of us.
I agree.
If something happens in DeKalb County, it's important to what's going on in Warren County. So I think I come with me a lot of life's different experiences.
Mhm.
I know people,
Yeah. I
and
love
I
it.
believe that communication is the key to success in everything you do.
Yeah.
Being able to communicate with people. And therefore, I want you to tell me what you want to see done.
Yeah.
I want to know what the members want done,
Yeah.
what the employees need. I know that being on the board is not someone, the board of directors, they do not see the day to day activities of Candy Fork.
Yeah.
And I don't intend on going in there and trying to be involved in that aspect. But the bigger picture is what they do.
Yeah.
The financial soundness of Candy Fork
Yeah.
is very important to us and how we keep that organization going.
And be, like, transparent. I always say the more we know, the better we work together. I mean, that's just common sense to me.
Transparency is very important.
Mhm.
Understanding what's going on
Yeah.
in your community.
And I'm gonna say it because I am mad. I'm very transparent. I always tell Lisa when I was looking on the Candy Forks website and all that all the people that's on the board and stuff, I actually asked you about this yesterday. When has there been the last time a woman on the board?
I
'Cause
know there was a lady that was appointed in White
Mhm.
County, and she was appointed, but it was for a short time
Yeah,
frame. So I don't know that there's been
like
a
one
lot of
voted
women
in.
on this
Mhm.
board or any board for a matter of
Yeah.
fact.
But I just always think it's always good. I think, and nothing against having an all men board, but I think it's always good to have a mix of everybody, from different aspects. And that's why the board is made up of, I saw there was DeKalb County, I think it was, there was some three different counties on there that made up the board. And I think that's great because you can't just have all of Warren County, right?
No,
And then like speak for DeKalb and White and Van Buren. You need a mix. And I just think it'd be great to see some more women that want to be involved in being on the board. I say we can do it. I mean, we just got, a couple weeks ago, we have Brittany Davis, a shout out to her. She's the new GM and CEO over at McMinnville Electric Systems. She took over, Rodney has retired, and now we got her in, and she is phenomenal. I love Brittany to death. And so I just like to say that because I feel like we're in a time now where everybody there is equal opportunities for a lot of us to do, and we need to take them when we have them. But is before I forget, but if you don't know where the voting is happening, it's going to be once again on October the 19th. I believe is it from 10 to 2?
10 to 2.
10 to 2, and it's going to be, of course, on 500 Garfield Street, which is, of course, the Milner Recreation Center. If now I don't know all the rules, I left a voicemail over at Caney Fork, but if it's anything like when we did the Ben Lomond vote, I don't know, are they allowed? That's one question somebody did ask me last week too. Um, and I don't know what that term is, but if they can't be present,
Proxy.
is there a proxy available for this one?
Not to my knowledge. I think, from my understanding, you have to be present to vote,
Okay.
and you must be a member. Now, what makes you a member?
Right. That's
You're
another
a
one.
member if your name is on the elector bill.
Yeah.
That's my understanding, that if you and your spouse are both on the elector bill, one can vote. There's only one vote per household.
Per address, I guess. Yeah. Okay.
Yes. And it's very important that you come out and vote.
Yeah. Voting is very important, guys. I say this whether it is, the upcoming general election to this, these are the people that make up the decisions for your community. And if you want somebody to speak on your behalf, and I'll have to do a shout out to Lisa on, I saw on your Facebook page, somebody, I won't say their name, that spoke real highly of you on there and saying that if you want somebody to really back you and that's tough as nails, you want that doesn't turn away or back down, you need to get Lisa Z on there. And then I said, do you know who this person is? And you told me, I think, like, he wasn't, you didn't, did you convict him? I can't remember what you
Oh,
said.
yeah. I think he was on the other side of me.
And that, to me, I think when you convicted somebody and they speak highly of you, that speaks volumes, because he said that you changed his life. And so that, and it's not just you're fighting for one side, you're fighting for everybody because you see the need, right?
Well, that's the way I am. If I see a need, I'm going to give it 110%,
Yeah.
just as we did when there was a need to protect our seniors.
Yeah.
I led the charge to get the statewide
Yeah.
laws to protect our seniors, our elderly. And I see a need here, and that's why I've stepped out and put my name on the ballot.
Yeah. I love it. So with that said, because I know you got to go back to, because she has a day job. I got to let her go. I told her I don't know how long it's going to be, but I appreciate you coming in. Is there anything I haven't tapped on yet?
Let me say this. My opponent is a very nice man.
Yeah.
But I think it's time for a change.
Yeah.
It's time for a brighter future for Warren, Van Buren, DeKalb, and White County. And that's why I'm running.
I love it. Thank you so much. Now, I do know that you've been, like, off air. We were talking about doing maybe a possible gathering coming up. So everybody be listening. Follow her on her Facebook page, whether it's her personal one or she also has on Facebook. It's called Vote for Elisa Zavianas. You can check it out. So if when we get the date locked down, when you get your date locked down, that could be a great time for if you're a Caney Fork employee or a member that's in the White, Warren, Van Buren, and Warren County area to come out and speak your, concerns and issues that you may have, because she can address those if
Talk to me.
elected.
I'm listening.
Yep, she's all about it. But with that said, thank you so much for coming
Thank you for having
in,
me here.
and be safe going back, as I'm going to grab my phone and we're just going to keep going.
Okay.
So
Thank you again, Kelly.
anytime. Hold on, guys. I'm going to let her out the door. All right. Got you. I was like, where are you running off to? Hi. Okay. Facebookers. Now, I did make a post on my social media this morning about where were you on 9/11, and I thought I got a couple of, hits on it, and I didn't want to check it out because everybody was somewhere, right? Um Molly Maine said, I was in Washington, D.C. in line to tour the White House. Oh my gosh. Because if anybody remembers, once that happened, the Pentagon got hit after that too. Another place got hit. Linda Hillis said, I worked in Sparta that day. But it again, it is just it was a crazy time. It was a sad day for all of us. And coming up on the show, hopefully today. Hold on. This is my girl right here. Hold on. Hello. I'm on air. How may I help you? All right. We're at Tops. Yes, ma'am. All right. Bye. All right. That's my girl, Melody Crim. She's coming in because when she's been a part of the Heritage Alliance group for a few years now, and they actually came up with all these facts and things. And I wanted to talk about those as well, on the show. But while we're waiting on her, a lot of things are happening this week. I'm trying to nail down some cool things that hopefully Friday we'll be doing a live podcast at the Warren County A&L Fair. I'm really excited about that. Also, I'm excited to talk about, again, Grandparents' Day was over the weekend. And I wanted to do a couple of shout outs because, of course, I wanted to make sure everybody knew. But happy Grandparents' Day to my mom, Gail Moore Locke. She's in the picture on our Facebook page if you want to check it out. She has one more on the way that will be any day now. I love it. She's got 7 great grandbabies. Also, Betsy White. Shout out to my mom, Sharon, and late daddy, George David Reed. Um, if you have not made it to the Warren County A&L Fair, shout out to the Warren County Joey page. The best burger at the fair, and the results were in. And the Covenant Academy food booth has claimed the title of most spectacular burger at the fair. With it's called Mr. Good Burger. He said, "I'm naming it number one at the fair." Warren County Joy said, "It's a playful sandwich that drips with pimento cheese and has a delightful mix of bacon and burger." And of course, good old Sloppy Top is helping the Covenant Academy crew this year with their food booth. And you must make sure to try the Mr. Good Burger. Finishing in close second is at the Warren County High School Choir with um, it's a patty melt or pally melt, said the Warren County Joy. It's really good. The Boyd Bronco burger was in 3rd. It's called the Volcano Burger. And then, of course, the Volcano Burger at First Assembly of God was 4th. So, again, lots of amazing food to try at the Warren County A&L Fair. Again, going on strong all this week at the fair with their festivities. And I'm trying to see if they have posted yet what's going on for today's activities. Of course, first and foremost, tonight, the big thing tonight is, of course, the Sammy Kershaw is performing at 7 p.m. at the grandstands. And again, the Warren County Ale Fair is free admission, which is the last that I'm aware of in the state of Tennessee. And two, it's free parking. If you see where you have to pay to park, that's because these nonprofits, this is one of their biggest fundraisers of the year. So if you see $5, $10, whatever the parking number, how much they're charging, that is going to a great cause. And it is. So make sure you come out and check out the free admissions and free parking of the Warren County A&M Fair and enjoy the free concert. I say this a lot of Sammy Kershaw at no charge to you guys. There's going to be daily entertainment going on today, agriculture and livestock expeditions. Also, the petting zoo is going to be open today. And then, so come on out to the fair in Warren County and see Sammy Kershaw tonight, of course. I will say last night was so much fun. Kelly's Karaoke and Friends was a smash hit last night. It has been the biggest turnout I've ever had. I had so much fun with the little kiddos. I had 8 turn out last night, and that was phenomenal. My goal is to eventually get so big that we have to be, competing with the adults, right, for the grandstand stage. So, with that said, I would like to make mentions of our winners last night from the Kelly's Karaoke. In third place, tied for third, I gave it to Waylon McCormick and Lakely Sanders. In second place was Sawyer McCormick. He sang Ain't No Love in Oklahoma by Luke Combs, was so good. And then Madeline Johnson won first place last night as she sung Dolly Parton's Coat of Many Colors. And I tell you, normally I can really pick, first, second, third, fourth, things like that. But last night, Sawyer, I got to give a shout out to both of them. Sawyer McCormick and Madeline Johnson sang so good last night. You can hear their vocals. They're just two very well talented kids. And so I could not just, pick it. So I did let the audience by the crowd, shout outs and stuff. And so Madeline won by crowd participation on that one. And so for third place winners got $10, second place winners got $15, and first place got $25. And as a added incentive, of course, on Friday night, which is tomorrow, or no, tomorrow, not tomorrow night, today's Wednesday. I'm always a day ahead. Um, as of Friday, we are going to invite the four winners to come back. And as the judges are calculating the score after the first round, these children are going to perform for you guys. So, with that said, oh, I hate to hear that. I hate to hear that. But with that said, please come out, support them, encourage them. Um, and, it's just a thing that I love to do every Tuesday of the Tuesday night at the fair for these kids to build up their confidence, because that's what it's all about, is building up confidence, because it is not easy to sing in front of an audience. But going back to what I said about the Warren County A&L Fair, tonight I will get all the information of who's performing and stuff, because I was thinking today's Thursday, but it's not. Thursday night, I do know, is when Sammy Kershaw is going to be there at 7 p.m., which will be tomorrow night. Now, if you've been like me and you by this time, everybody's got to have some sniffles and allergies. I don't know what you guys are doing at home, but I'm making sure to take my Claritin and take my shower or bath every night when I come back from the fair, just because of all that dust that gets collected on us. Um, yeah, we have to. My kids, not so much. They're hacking a little bit, but it's just because of what's going on as well. But again, going strong. I do know tonight we will not be able to make the fair tonight. But make sure you go out and see all the booths underneath the grandstand. Check out all the old timey video or pictures and such. I'm telling you, there's so much history, and we are so thankful to have a Warren County A&L Fair that has free admission and free parking. Because if we wouldn't have that, right? Another thing I was going to say, let's see, business hours of operation with the fair. And of course, we had a lot of people message, and I want to say thank you so much to the folks that participated in my post, as I'm trying to read it now. And it's not like, okay, can I read it? Can I read it? You gonna let me see the comments? No, you're not gonna let me see the comments. Okay. Well, I'm just gonna have to look it up then. Whatever. It is what. Earlier or later today, be looking on our social media, as we will be posting a digital copy of our newsletter. We're not going to have the newsletters out at our businesses like we normally do, because of course, a lot of our businesses are closed or have special hours. So I just didn't want to, kill a tree this week, as I say. But with that, thank you. Intrigue will be open from 11 a.m. to 6 p.m. We always enjoyed meeting new customers from out of town and seeing our regular clientele visit our store before and after they attend the fair. So Intrigue is open like normal all week long from 11 a.m. to 6 p.m. The Hitch Outfitters, the general store, their hours are going to be like they from now till Saturday, 10 to 5. They have regular hours as well. Wink Skincare will be closed on, of course, they already were closed on September the 7th, but normal hours for the rest of the week. So if you have an appointment this week, make sure you go and take care of that. The Vanilla Bean Baking Company will be open regular business hours from Wednesday through Friday, 7 to 4. And of course, on Saturday is 7 to 2. Champion Chevrolet, normal hours as usual. Always in Bloom Flowers and Gifts will be open their normal hours. And of course, that's Monday through Friday, 9 to 5 p.m., and Saturday, 2 to 10, or 10 to 2, excuse me. I always say it opposite. If anybody doesn't know, I'm a little bit dyslexic all the time. Renee's Kitchen at Midway. They will stay normal hours except for Thursday. They will be closed at 4 p.m. Southern Traditions will be open Tuesday through Friday, 10 to 5:30, and Saturday, 10 to 3. So come see them. Tim's Motors and Window Tinting will be open their normal business hours. Reflective Car Care was also normal business hours. And if you need a good car detail cleaning, make sure you check out Reflective Car Care because they do a phenomenal job, especially after the fair. Lemon said will be closed the week of the fair and encouraging customers to support the community booth. So all week, the rest of the week, Lemon will be closed. Morrison Hardware and Industrial Supplies, thanks, Leslie. They are having normal business hours, but they also have an amazing booth set up underneath the grandstand. So you need to make sure you check that out. Detention at the elementary, normal hours. Collins River Barbecue, they're going to be open Wednesday through Saturday, 11 to 8. So they're regular hours as well. The Well at Tree City will be open normal. Valo Pizza Company will be open normal hours, which is Thursday through Saturday, 4 p.m. to 8 p.m. We had a lot of people turn out for this. The Crafty Hut will be closed, of course, Monday through Wednesday. So today they will be closed, but Thursday on, they will be open 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. for the rest of the week. So Thursday morning, it's going to be open from 9 to 4 for the rest of the week. Evelyn Taylor Avenue will be closed. Let's see, and reopen after the week of the fair. Okay. So Evelyn Taylor Avenue is going to be closed throughout the week, and they're going to reopen after the fair, of course. So I'm back on Monday, which means what they normally do is showcase their fall outfits. So you can check that out. Um, Shout out to my girl Mary Wolford. She's a great masseuse. Business hours as usual. The El Burrito Loco is doing their regular hours, 10 to 8 p.m. Thank you, Ashley. Let's see. Mercantile West will be closed Wednesday while we work on our new space, but open. They will have normal hours on Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. The Butcher on Main will have their regular hours, which is Monday through Saturday, 10 to 6 p.m. McMinnville Lawn and Garden, normal hours. Let's see. Tops Frozen Yogurt and Metro Deli, you actually can see on their sign, they're going to be open like they do from 11, but they're going to be closing at 4 o'clock. They just changed their hours a little bit. Oh Sugar will be closed at our location, but if you want to enjoy their yummy desserts, you can check them out the McMinnville Special Games booth by the grandstands. And off the top of my head, I know, oh, what was it? I saw it the other day and now I can't remember. But check out their yummy desserts. I did see oatmeal pie on there and I should have got it, but I can't. I just can't, Penny. It's too much. I always feel like I gain like 5 or 10 pounds when I go to the fair, which is fine, you know. Uh, who messaged? Sorry, I just saw a comment. Let's see here. What is the Grassy Lot's official name? Are you talking about over at the Security Federal area? The Security Federal line? I don't know what. Let me know what you're asking. Let's see. Going back, Little Posies Boutique will have normal business hours. Iron Tusk Tattoos and Piercings, normal hours, Tuesday through Saturday. Excuse me, 11 a.m. to 8 p.m. Ross and Company, normal hours. Napa of McMinnville, normal hours. Cookies by Brax will be closed. And Red Door Boutique and Red Door Kids open regular days with different hours, Tuesday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 4 p.m., and Saturday, 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. And of course, they're doing a $10 pants at the kids and $20 pants special at the women's with new fall fittings um, on the floor daily. So that is what I've got. Thank you for all the comments. We had over 35 comments. I'm going to make a better list coming up later today. Let's see here. Oh, and I do want to talk about this while I'm here as well. Before I get to I got blown up with so many messages, and I want to make sure I hit all of them. Let's go to, I think it was on. But while I'm pulling this up, yeah, found them. While I'm pulling that up, no, the one at the Hoover and Sons. Oh, I don't know what the official name over there is called. I'm sorry. I'll find out though. You're talking about at the fair. Um, with that said, October the 12th is going to be the second Saturday of the month because don't forget that there is not going to be a second Saturday of the month in downtown McMinnville because, of course, that is during the fair time. So, with that said, they're skipping Saturday and moving right into October, which the next one coming up will be October the 12th. Um, I am partnering up with all the ladies on North Spring Street and I got Jason Gross, which owns the townhouse down there, and he's going to let me use his garage to be DJ Kelly for the night, as well as I'm teaming up with currently Papa John's Pizza. A shout out to Nicole Adams and them at Papa John's. Love her to death. She doesn't get a lot of recognition. But I'm going to give it to her. But they are going to help me make North Spring Street on second Saturday even better. She's going to donate 10 to 15 pizzas, and we're going to be handing out free slices of pizza from Papa John's as well out of the garage. I'm working on right now getting a beverage set up for that so you can have beverage and a pizza. And then we're going to have some other fun stuff as well. Because there's a lot of events that go on in the month of October, and I want to showcase them as well, while people are coming through. So when you go into the garage, it's not just going to be music and fun and a podcast. It's also going to be where I'm going to talk about upcoming events while I'm in this event because we have a lot, for example, October the 19th is going to be the Caney Fork board of directors vote. And so if there was any questions, I'm going to get Lisa Z to come into there and she can talk to you guys about how you can vote, how it works, and things like that. And with me right now, as she gets here, as you know, again, I've been telling everybody we've got the fair fog. So, or can you call it a fair hangover? I don't know. But before I get her going, I do want to say, is this it? No, that's not the one. And I want to say shout out to everybody that has been messaging me. There has been a ton of events that is coming up, and I want everybody to know Music for the Museum. It's an event that's going to be held on September the 21st from 4 to 6 p.m. at the Weathered Barn, which is located at 141 Mike Muncie Road. Come and enjoy the Silver and Gold Band. Get a bowl of beans, cornbread, hot dogs, chips, desserts, and drinks. Adults are $8, kids are 12, and under $4. Bring a lawn chair and enjoy food, fun, and fellowship. All proceeds are going to help out the Dibble Museum.
Don't realize exists.
Oh,
We actually have 4 museums in this town, and a lot of people don't even realize we have 1,
I didn't.
and
Yeah,
we are
yeah,
blessed to have 4.
yeah. We have a lot.
All dedicated to the history of this town, which is just wonderful.
And then the other thing is And hopefully I don't jack up her name. Shout out to Katie Carroll for sending this to me. There is going to be a fundraiser for Stevania Bolden.
That's how I would pronounce it, but
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with that.
Okay. And with that said, it is this week for the week of the fair. 1901 Fragrance is going to be donating 15% of all sales to support Stefania in her courageous fight against breast cancer. Stefania's strength and resilience inspires us, and we are committed to helping her through this challenging journey. Every purchase made this week will directly contribute to her cause, allowing us to come together as a community and make meaningful impact. Join us in supporting Stevania Bolden and spreading love, hope, and strength. The website to go to is www.1901fragrance.com. So if you want to help out, maybe a good question for your guest, what is the official name of the grassy lot between Juicy's and Oh, you want to know that? Oh, not at the fair. Okay, thank you. Um, is there official name for that over here?
So my understanding is the grassy lot is the name next to Security Federal where they do Main Street Live.
Right, but he's asking
I
about
know.
that one.
I had to get that out first.
Okay. Had to get it out of your brain.
I
I get
know.
it.
Because he said grassy lot. It is. I don't think it
Had
has
a
an official name. It used to
Yep.
be a building. It used to be Cook's department store. Somebody's gonna come on here and call me out on that. I think it was Cook's and it
I've
burned
heard it.
down.
Yeah, I've heard it called the
Um,
Paul Holder lot or the Paul Holder grassy area because
oh, it's
that's
Brian
some.
calling me out.
Yeah, Brian's calling you out.
Uh,
I've
yeah,
heard it be
that I'm
named
not
several
sure.
things.
But I can find that out. I
I don't
can
know if
find that
there's an
out.
official name.
Yeah,
Maybe it should be official if there's not an official name.
I mean, here lately we're just like where they put the ice skating rink.
Yeah,
I
it's
mean,
like whatever they use. Like it's the main stage for the Autumn Street Fair.
yes,
I've heard it called the Paul Holder grassy lot before
yeah,
because of the
um,
huge, mural on the side.
yes,
So,
and yeah, and his building being right there. So
but we'll find
we
out. That is
will.
a great
That's a homework
question.
question.
Yeah, let's start a campaign to name it.
Thanks, Brian.
Okay. Yeah, I got two.
Do,
one more, but if you want to do that
well,
one, real
have you
quick.
talked about that one?
No, I have
Okay,
not.
well, you finish your two, and then I'll go talk
Okay.
about this one because this is a
So
good one.
lastly, thanks to Cody Jones, there's an event going to be happening on October the 12th at Fairview Community Center for a good friend of mine. His name is Jason Green. His mom is sick with brain cancer, and they are doing a car cruise in from 12 to 6 p.m. $5 entry fee for the cars for the cruise in. There's going to be good eating, handmade or hamburgers and fries and hot dogs. Food and drink plates are $10. And of course, this is going to be on Saturday, October the 12th over at the Fairview Community Center. I wanted to get all these out while I can.
And if you'll send all those to me, I will get them on the calendar.
I will. I just got these sent over the weekend.
Well, I love that they're sending it to us now so we
Yeah.
can get it out, but I want to definitely get it on the calendar
Yeah.
so that people can go back and look, and anybody who's coming into town for the weekend can and be like, what's to do in this small
Yeah.
town? Let me tell you.
There's a lot.
There's a lot.
Yeah. But you got one. That's all I got now.
So August Lows, which is
Yes.
Joshua's Moore's band, and they are phenomenal.
I
And they
forgot to call
just
him back.
released a new single.
On his birthday.
Oh, is today his birthday?
Yeah, he said he was going to release it on his birthday week.
Oh,
So
well, I guess it's his happy birthday, Josh.
yeah.
But they're absolutely fantastic. And recently we lost Mrs. Carla Cope.
Oh, yeah.
And so he is hosting a benefit show for her, also at the community CIC or
Mhm.
the Fairview Community Center.
Yeah.
All proceeds from this show go directly to her husband, Mr. Ricky Cope, to assist with any expenses from her long battle with cancer. Food prices will be separate from show admission, which will be $10 per person, but tips for the family are always appreciated. Come help August Lowe's give back to the wonderful family. Food at 6, show at 7.
Sweet.
Get there early, and thank you from the bottom of our hearts for your support, August Lowe's. And that is September 20th at
Okay.
5 p.m. That's
On
a Friday
Friday.
night.
Okay.
So
a week from today or this Friday? No, 2 weeks from this Friday.
Don't ask me dates at this point. It's
I know.
numbers, and my brain's not ready for numbers.
Same. But you know,
What does CIC stand for? David asked me that the other day, and not being a local born and bred here, I don't know.
community. Wait. It's Fairview CIC?
Yeah, well, they all have CIC. It's Midway CIC. It's all of them. So it's got to
You
stand.
know, I'm gonna blame the fair fog on that one.
Okay.
I was about to say Church of Christ, but that's not what that
No.
means.
An I, not a I, not a
Community and community. Brian, we'll throw a question at you. Do you know, since you're watching the show? And by the way, yes, a week from this Friday is the 20th because I
So
just pulled
there
up
we
my
go.
calendar as well. But
That'll be another great show.
yeah.
And I don't know if it was also discussed or if you even realized it because I was told this as I was leaving the fair last night in my fair fog, but apparently they moved the football game up to tomorrow night.
Oh, I did not know that.
So the football game has been moved up to
So the kids can have their fair day. I love that.
well, that's going to directly interfere with Sammy Kershaw, but I think it might be a different group of
Can
people.
I be
So it's
honest?
okay.
I'm gonna say this. How many, if there was like the whole football team was standing in front of me, how many kids do you think would know who Sammy Kershaw is?
I was talking about the parents.
Oh, I'm not thinking of the parents. I'm sorry. Sorry, as a parent,
I know the kids have no idea
as a
because I was talking
parent,
to
I
them last
don't
night.
think, when fair's in town, I want my kids to
Yeah.
enjoy it. So I kind of put the parent bug in. Sorry. Because when you become a parent, you don't get to do all the fun stuff you used to do when you had no kids. Am I right? I'm just
Yeah,
saying.
I'm
I'm very honest this morning. I apologize.
We're all sleep deprived.
Yeah.
But that's what I was told by somebody with the school last night.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Trying to find out.
I'm just
Confirming.
uh
We'll find out.
yeah, but that's what I heard last night.
Yeah.
Oh, due to anticipated inclement weather, Friday's game against Warren County
Rain.
has been moved to Thursday when it's also supposed to be raining.
Mm-hmm.
Kickoff is scheduled for 7 p.m. So mark that on your things. But I
So
do love that the kids will be able to participate.
yeah.
And that also means that they will have the staff for the band booth for that night, which will be good.
I knew
Community interest company. Good job, Brian. Thank you. Brian gets the golden donut,
Okay.
whatever. I don't know.
With that said, about talking about weather, because I
Yes,
have
it's gonna
not
get
talked
rough.
about it today. It is supposed to get rough. So today the high is supposed to be 87, but the low tonight is 57. So if you're coming out to the fair
I've got
tonight,
65.
well, we're in this. Look at that. We have the same app pulled up right now. I just want you to know. And then
Well, all right, I like 57 better. That means I can
Yeah.
keep my windows open.
that's right. And then tomorrow there is a 55% chance of rain. Okay. With that said, high of 74, low of 65. And then there's another 55% chance of rain on Friday, high of 80 degrees, low of 67. Saturday, chance of rain again, 55%, high of 78, low of 66. And then, excuse me, on Sunday, a 40% chance of rain, high of 80 and low of 66.
I got that tornado coming in or that hurricane coming in.
Yeah, everybody was talking about some monsoon last night. Is this what they were talking about?
I don't.
That's bringing all this weather?
Well, there's a hurricane coming through, and it's
Okay.
supposed to go directly through Louisiana and
Yeah.
Alabama.
Oh, he Wikipedia it for us.
Oh, he did.
Wicca evil. That's what I call it. And I only call it Wicca evil. I want to do a side story right fast. When I was on the radio station and I had to Google, I didn't have time to Google this artist or actor that came on the show. And I'm very embarrassed. I'm not telling you who it is. And I started questioning him about what Wikipedia said
Mhm.
about him and being in a band. He's like, that wasn't me.
Mm.
And I was like, oh my God. And so I did the next one. Duke's like, keep going, right? And I did. And he is like, you got that off Wikipedia. I mean, he called me out on live air. You got that stuff off Wikipedia. I was like, yes, sir. And he was, I was
It's
like,
not reliable.
and
It's fun to
that's
read.
why I call it
but
Wicca
double check.
evil.
But
Wicca evil.
But you know what? Nothing is reliable. What you hear on the news isn't reliable. Nothing's reliable.
Mm-mm.
Whenever you hear something, and I've said this before, whenever
Yeah.
you hear something or read something, go ask questions. Go
Mhm.
figure it out because
Oh,
we all have a skewed brain.
Yeah.
And so we hear what we want to hear, not
Mhm.
the facts. And
Yeah.
we hear what's going to justify our already preconceived idea.
And we try to find
Yeah.
factual,
And we try to be as factual as we can
Yeah,
on air. That's
before
why I
we
said,
mention
hang
it.
on.
That's why some things are not mentioned. I want to say that while you say that,
Yeah.
because a lot of people are like, well, so and so has said it, and then so and so has wrote it, and so. Again, I learned this at the radio station, and I have to give shout out to Duke Rice and Jeff Barnes for this. Oh, thank you, Brian. He said we're reliable. With that said, they always said we have to wait. let's wait, because you just never know. And so
Mhm.
that created the patience I have. And I'm not, unless we find out like within, sometimes I call it the lucky unicorn, where we get told the information and we find out within like 5 minutes, like, okay, that's true.
Yeah,
Then I can report it. But sometimes it takes a couple days,
because I will
couple
always
weeks.
go back and get it from the horse's mouth. That's
Yeah.
why you will notice whenever I write an
Mhm.
article or whenever I'm on air, I will say, I
Yeah.
heard
Same.
or I know.
Yeah.
If I've heard, I can't confirm it. I'm just letting you know what's being heard. If you know who we can confirm this with, then let us know.
Mhm.
But there's just so
So much
much
information
static.
out there.
There's just so
Yes.
much static. And
I just saw your text.
see, that's why I called her on the air, because I was like, do I still need to be up there, or have I missed it? Y'all, I set my
This
alarm
is
for
totally a legit live show today, and we have got barely any sleep.
No, I set my alarm for PM instead of AM. I have been up at the fairgrounds doing the 2 pageants till 11 o'clock 2 nights.
Listen,
I had
I've been up
3 kids that I'm emotionally attached to last night. I had 9
Mhm.
in Monday night's show. I was exhausted
I
because I
bet you
take the
were.
pictures, and I mean, I was zooming all over the
I
place,
like the
and
picture you took of
they
me.
did
Me and my
great.
child look focused.
I know, they did. I could see her across the bandstand, so I took a picture and then took a
Mhm.
picture with my phone of the picture
Yeah.
and sent it to her saying, "I can see you."
Yeah.
Because there's nothing
That's
creepy and
great.
stocky about that at all.
No, absolutely not. But the other reason I had Melody want to come on the show, because I had Lisa Zavianis on this morning.
Oh, I missed
And
her.
yeah, and well, we had an early start. That's
Oh,
why I didn't mind if you came in a little
that's
late,
why you look a little bit better than I do.
No, absolutely. I'm a little more awake, I guess is the best way to say it.
Yeah.
Plus I have the button on here. I'm gonna tell y'all a cheat sheet. On my program, they just said this morning, it's a little button you can click to help with your appearance.
Oh,
So I clicked on it and I did 100.
there you go.
I was like, whatever this helps, but I don't see any difference,
I don't
honestly.
see either. Neither one of us look caffeinated or awake.
I haven't drank
Like,
nothing or ate nothing this morning. So after this, we're eating. But with that said,
sounds good to
of
me.
course, the big thing today, like me and Lisa did like talk about, and I want this how you can get into it. We talked about where were you on 9/11, because that is truly the main focus of today's show, besides the fair, because that's all it's always going on during the time.
Yeah.
And I know like tonight, especially at the community worship that's going to be happening at 6 o'clock at the grandstands. And thank you, Brian, for letting us know that as well. That they're probably going to do a silent prayer and things like that.
Yeah.
And one thing I did enjoy at the fair I saw Monday night was it something Valor? Oh, what was it? They gave quilts. Was it quilts?
Yeah, the quilt of valor, and I did get some shots of that, but
Yeah.
I didn't realize what was happening quick enough, so I
Yeah.
didn't get the information. But I do have the pictures, and
Yeah.
it was beautiful. Plus, I will admit that when things that happen with the military start going on, I become laser focused and I forget I'm
Yeah.
supposed to be taking pictures
Yeah.
because I'm a military person. I mean, my husband served in the military, all of my dad's family, my father-in-law's family.
Mhm.
My father-in-law actually did, I'm going to say the name wrong again. I can hear my husband fussing at me, but he was one of the guards at Arlington. I can't remember the official name, but he was one of the guards up at
Yeah.
Arlington Cemetery for a while. And so when it does come to the military, I do become very, very laser focused on
Yeah.
that. But I think that every generation is defined by one significant tragedy in our history.
Mhm.
The assassination of Kennedy, the Challenger explosion, which I mean, I was alive when that happened, but I was so young, I don't remember it. I really don't. I don't remember watching it on TV. But 9/11 I remember because I mean I was an adult. I had a small child in
Mhm.
daycare that day. And I mean I remember everything. I was not with my husband. I was dating some guy from actually it was from Scranton, Pennsylvania, which is
Look
right
at
over
you.
the line from New York.
Yeah.
And I had taken a new medication that did not suit. I had called out of work and I was laying there still asleep and I woke up to the coverage and I remember looking at him, I'm going, "What movie are you watching?" Because I watch a lot of movies. I was like, "I don't know what this
Yeah.
is." And he goes, "It's not a movie. This is happening." And I don't think I've ever woken up that fast.
Yeah.
And that was right after the second plane hit, I want to say. And at that time, I was living in Charlotte, North Carolina, which is the banking capital. Every major bank has their headquarters in Charlotte.
Mhm.
So there was we didn't know what was happening, who was a target. There was a very real concern that Charlotte could have gotten hit because, I mean, you take out
Yeah.
Charlotte, you're taking out all of our banks.
Mhm.
And my mother lived or worked right near downtown. She refused to leave work. She kept telling me to calm down. I had my stepdad, who she was married to at the time, up in New York. We didn't know where he was because, as you remember, the cell
Yeah.
phones went out.
Yeah.
The guy was dating his brother, Alden, was somewhere in New York that morning. We didn't know where he was. My stepfather finally called in later on that evening.
Yeah.
Was kind enough to finally let us know he was okay. But Alden, we did not hear from till the next morning because he had to walk out. He was down in that area and they were not able to get their cars. They had no cell phone service. He had to walk out of that area to where he could get cell phone service or get a
Yeah.
ride. And that was some stressful hours. And I know there are other people that live here in Warren County that were affected by that lost people on that day.
Mhm.
Or that also had family that was there that day.
Yeah.
And it was a very, very scary time. And as much as I don't want another 9/11, I really would love for our country to get back to who we were on 9/12.
Yeah, that's one thing Lisa said she saw this morning, that somebody quoted just like that,
Yeah.
that same sentence, saying, "If we could come back or be where we were, how we all were together, and everybody, the kindness and the love and the appreciation."
Yeah.
And at the time, I believe it was George Bush. No, who was our president?
George Bush. Yes.
George Bush, and right before that, the back and forth, and was it Al Gore that ran against him at that time? I think
No. Oh, no, it's Clinton. No,
no, I think it was Gore, because they
I
had
can't remember.
with
I
that
was not a
said,
politicker at that
at
time.
that time, I didn't get to vote at that time because I was in 10th grade, but I do remember just seeing the dirty part of politics and how the hate from, the
Yeah.
Democrats and the Republican side, and then on that day, whether you were Black, white, Asian, Hispanic,
Yeah.
Democrat, Republican, it did not matter where you came from, what you are, where you are at today. Everybody was hugging each other, helping each other,
Yeah.
praying for each other. It was just for a bad situation, there was a
It
lot of positivity from it.
it did the exact opposite of what it was intended to do. It was
Yes.
supposed to destroy this country, and instead it brought this country closer
Hmm.
together. And now, I mean, I truly feel like our country is just coming apart at the seams.
Yeah.
There's just too much divide. There's too much hatred. There's too much ugliness.
And yeah,
That debate last night was ridiculous.
I didn't get to watch it.
I
I'm
was
gonna watch
watching
it
snippets
today.
when I got home, and then I
Okay.
got angry.
Okay. Don't tell
But
me
I'm not
anything.
going to tell
Don't
you
spoil
anything.
it.
It's like, well, it's
We'll
more
talk.
entertaining than going to the fair. Let me just tell you, like, oh,
Really?
those two. It was such a circus act. I don't understand what we're doing anymore.
Yeah.
It's just
I feel like
it's rough.
it's a what's the word? I'm gonna try to use big words this morning. I think when that stuff like that happens without seeing it, like as I'm hearing your words on it, I think it's like a collusion to like blind us on what is
Oh,
really
yeah,
at front to matter. And it gets to a point where it's a he said, she said battle, and like mommy, like
right.
listen to me. And
It feels
I haven't watched it yet, so that's my feel on it.
it feels to me like mommy and daddy are fighting over us, and we just all want to go live with grandma.
Yeah, like they just need to
That's what
get
it feels
divorced
like.
and be
Right,
done.
just be done. I'm just like, I don't know who grandma is, but
Yeah.
I don't want to live with these two anymore.
No, I
Um,
agree.
it's just
Yeah, I'm watching it
it's a
today.
rough time. It's a rough time. And I will say, in hindsight, I know that there was a lot of ugliness and mistrust to the word toward the Muslim community after 9/11. I think that people lost
Mhm.
sight of the fact that all Muslims were not bad and they were
I
not
would have
all
to
to
agree with that.
blame.
Yeah. It
But
took a while for me to like
you see that with any conflict. I mean, after Pearl Harbor, we were gathering up Asian Americans and sticking them in concentration camps here on American
yeah,
soil. People don't talk about that, but that actually happened.
yeah.
And I think that we just lost sight of who the real enemy is and who we need to be against. and the fact that not all Muslims believe like that. It's just like with any religious group, there are extremists. I mean, here in Christianity, we have the Westboro Baptist Church. I mean, just think that if everybody thought all Christians were like them, and we're not. A lot of
No.
us are love and light, and that's the same thing with the Muslim community. They're not all extremists like that. There's a lot of good in that religion.
Yeah.
And but I know that there was a lot of ugliness, but
Yeah.
overall, I mean, we had musicians writing songs that I still will sing at the top of my lungs with tears streaming down my face that during that time. And we had, just as you said, the unity. It
Yeah.
was
For
it was a good
something.
time. It was a good time to live here that
It
time.
was.
And
to be alive and to be able to hug your mom and your
Oh,
dad or
it took
your sibling, or because
yes.
I was telling Lisa this morning, being able to have the privilege to visit the towers after the fact when they did
Yeah.
the memorial was all said and done, and to see, and she was actually right. I'm glad she talked about it. But when you go to that and how peace, like it again, New York is loud, by the way, but when you go to the Twin Towers, it is silent in a peaceful way, and
Yeah.
people are there remembering. And
Mhm.
when you go in that area, it's like you talked about, everybody came together and stuff. It's like when you enter this dome, it's like, like we all get it,
Yeah.
and everybody loves everybody and everybody cares. And if we could just harness that in a little jar
Yeah.
and pass that around, I think the world would be such a better place, because at the end of the day, and you can agree with me on this, the end game is for everybody to be safe, to be
Mhm.
wealthy, and to thrive, I should say, not to
Yeah.
be wealthy, but to thrive
But
and to have the best life.
not wealthy in money, but wealthy in other things.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
and unfortunately, I think that gets sidetracked with when money does get involved,
Oh,
unfortunately.
yeah.
And they always say the top two, one of the biggest things of cause of chaos in marriages is money, financial stuff.
Yeah.
So why not be a little issues with our government?
Right.
That makes total sense.
Yeah.
But that's why and while we're talking about this, the general election is going to be coming up in November, right?
Yes.
And and I should have grabbed one of my newsletters. October the I want to say the 7th or the 9th. Don't count me on it. But the beginning of October is the cutoff to register to
Oh,
vote.
I think it's the 7th. 7th is what sticks in my head.
Yeah, I'm sticking with 7. 7 sounds good, but I didn't know. But it's the first, week somewhere of October. But with that said, if you have not registered to vote because your birthday's coming up or anything like that, please register to vote. You can actually register early
Mhm.
as well, because if your birthday happens after the deadline, you can't register after. Thank you, Brian. October the 7th.
Okay.
Thank you for listening to the show. We might as well just have Brian right here.
Brian's incredible. I don't know if Brian
Brian,
has time
go
to be
sing
adding anything else.
Brian.
Brian's more busy than I am.
Here's Brian.
Do you know that he was supposed to do the prayer the other night and he ended up singing the national anthem too and killed it?
Did
Killed it.
you? Congrats.
I would want him to sing every national anthem. It was like we were on Broadway or something. It was unreal. I
Listen,
went, whoa.
I heard Brian at the Deplorables dinner, and they said to sing loud and proud for all to hear.
And he did not hold
was
back.
no, he didn't. He did. He sat down, and I'm like, dude.
I know. Then you stop singing. You're just like, okay, just keep going.
I did.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
stopped, and I loved to sing, but I was like,
He did that to me at theater camp. That's the first time I figured out he knew how to sing when he was teaching the kids how to sing.
yeah,
And I'm supposed to be over there taking pictures. I'm like,
yeah. You just
wait a
stop.
minute.
Yeah.
I've known Brian for years. Where did this come from?
Right. But no, but with that said about registering to vote, October the 7th is the deadline. If your birthday is after October the 7th, you can't register to vote early, but it just won't go in effect until your birthday. But you have to do it before by October the 7th or now.
My child turns 18.
Yeah, it's okay.
On the 15th. It's
I don't want
fine.
to.
And I told him he needs to register to vote, but as he said, I don't want any part of this circus.
Oh, well, there you go.
And I'm like, okay, I get it. As I said, I was not
unfortunate.
I was not into politics. I did not politic until like 2013 or 14. I was a late bloomer because I also did not want part of this. And then I realized
No, you
it's going
have
to be a part
to.
of me, whether or not I'm part of this or
Yeah.
not. And hey, speaking of politics, here's some local politic news. I don't remember the other guy's name, but I also got word from one of our aldermen who is up for re-election that Kara Youngblood is going to put her hat in the ring
Kara.
for our alderman, our city alderman.
Oh.
And I'm hoping and praying that that is true.
I literally just said
because
this morning it'd be nice to have some more females to
Yeah.
get on these boards and stuff.
Oh,
Okay.
and Kara, pardon my language, but Kara's got balls.
Okay.
Kara terrifies me. She's one of
Yeah.
those powerhouse women who takes no prisoners, who does not hold back. She would be incredible on the alderman board.
Yeah.
Um,
So on National Voter Registration Day, which is September the 17th, if you come to the unknown grassy lot area,
yeah.
well, the grassy lot area over here by Paul Holder and stuff, Tuesday on the 17th from 11 to 5, you can come and register to vote, which is this will be the
Maybe that's
second.
Grassy Lot Junior. I don't know. We'll figure it out.
We're going to come up with a name and then I'll get Raw Chastain to like.
No, you know
stamp
what? I'm
it.
sorry. See, y'all, I literally woke up 10 minutes ago.
Oh, thank you, Brian.
Brian's right. That is Grassy Lot. That's the Security Federal lawn. I'm sorry. He's right. That is called the Grassy Lot.
Really?
Yeah, it is the Grassy Lot. As soon as he said Grassy Lot, it all clicked. Y'all, I've not had caffeine. I literally just got out of bed. That's the Security Federal
So when
lawn.
I don't get sleep, I'm insane and I laugh and I smile and I'm like all more positive than I need
This
to
bear's
be.
kicking my butt. So yeah,
I
that
want
is
to
the
cry
Grassy
right
Lot.
now.
I know.
Can I say that? I just want to cry because how tired I am.
Yeah, I just learned about something called emotional continence the other day. It's
What
where
is that?
it's where you can't control your emotions, so your face just starts overreacting to stuff. Yeah, yeah. I know. Sometimes I do that, and you're sad, but then all of a sudden your face overreacts and you just start bawling. And it's like,
Yeah.
I wasn't that sad.
I'm like in pain right now and I want to cry, but I
Yeah.
can't. So, and I'm also tired.
Yeah.
But with that
So-
said, I'm trying to wait. I was trying to see if, no.
Oh, we're gonna hear me in stereo. That's
Nope,
fun.
nope. I was trying to pull up the Warren County A&L Fair because they've been really good about making these little posts about like specifically what's happening today,
Oh,
and they haven't. So, but it's fine. But again, look on later today as I get with Melody, as we're gonna just do we're gonna send out we're gonna put it on social media, and then we're of course gonna send out a digital newsletter to our subscribers. If you are not subscribing with us with the newsletter, very easy way to do it is by texting the keyword local voice to 931-305-0869, and we will send you that digital copy. And then
I've got the schedule.
oh, awesome.
But before we get into that, I want to say
Yeah.
a couple of things. So a couple of years ago, I'm gonna toot my own horn.
You can.
That's part of me learning to love myself. I did an incredible job with the museum downtown's window display. I did a
Yeah.
whole 9/11 window display. And part of that window display, I talked about Tunnel to Towers,
Yep.
which is the September 11th nonprofit. They have no
In
paid
June.
members on their board. They are incredible. They do
Shout out
have
to Joey and all them that
Yes.
started that.
well, our local chapter.
Because I
Yeah,
want to say that is the only one in Tennessee.
in Middleton. Is it just Middle Tennessee?
Middle
or
Tennessee. Middle Tennessee.
But it was founded by I want to say either
Oh.
survivors or family members.
Family members that they're not it's the
surviving
dad's daughter
spouses.
and family
Yes.
started it. I just can't
Um,
remember her name right
well,
now.
no,
and I
you're
do
talking
apologize.
about the local chapter. I'm talking about the mass in general,
Oh, I
the
don't know.
whole shebang.
I'm gonna look it up though while you chat.
But they don't have any paid members. All of the money
Mhm.
raised goes directly to the cause, which started as helping the survivors and the families of the victims of 9/11. It has grown into helping veterans coming home. It is a great nonprofit. If you feel the need to donate today, in memory of somebody or in honor of somebody, please, please, please donate to them. The other thing I figured out, I think most people have heard the story that Steve Buscemi, the actor, went back to his old firehouse, just put on his turnout gear and just went down
He
there.
did.
There was no questions. And that to me is so humbling because so many times I think that once they become famous, they lose sight of who they were beforehand.
Mhm.
All these, like talking to you, Oprah Winfrey, with billions of dollars, and who are you giving it to? You could end homelessness in a lot of these towns. You could, I mean,
Mhm.
there's so many places you could put that, but also the fact that there were multiple celebrities that we could have lost on that day. I know Seth MacFarlane was supposed to be on a plane. I think he missed his plane. I think Michael Jackson was supposed to be on one of the
Mhm.
planes that hit the towers. There was like 5 or 6 different like well-known celebrities that were
Celebs.
supposed to be on those planes and divine intervention. And I'm sure there's several not celebrities
Mhm.
that just divine intervention. And I will post on the Warren First page. If you're a crier and you need a good cry, I'm going to suggest you watch this. If
Please do.
you're
I was gonna ask you, you're gonna post it.
yes, did you watch it?
No, not yet. I
Oh
can't
my
watch
gosh.
it.
Okay, so somebody at some point took the tier or the songs Heaven and
We're not
did
open. No,
not
sir.
yet. Did a voiceover over the top of it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sorry.
I'm gonna lock the other door.
I think Sheena's right there.
I
Did
know.
Sheena get it? Sheena, did you lock it?
Yeah.
Okay, so
I'm gonna get.
oh no, I didn't lock
Yeah.
that one. I locked that one.
Oh, sure.
I locked that when I came in. Sorry, ADD over here. I told y'all we're tired.
Yeah.
Anyway, but they did a voiceover with a little girl talking to her daddy.
Yeah.
Now I don't know if it's an actual person that lost their life or if it's an imagining, but it was her as a little girl talking about her first day at school, and it just goes through the years. Daddy, did you see me? I'm gonna start crying to talk about it. Hang on.
So, I'll
It's
say it because I haven't watched it yet, but it's
it's
essentially a girl talking to her dad, like from heaven, essentially,
or
isn't
talking
it?
to her dad in heaven, and did you
Did you
see
see
me? And
me?
did you
Are
see
you
all
with
these
me?
accomplishments? And
Because it's kind of similar what Walker does right now when we go on vacations and things. And that's how I took it when you told me about it.
yeah,
Is like, even though his papa is no longer here with us, he is with us, whether it's in our heart, in our
yeah,
mind. And that first trip when we went to Gatlinburg, for example, he said he saw how me and my mom were upset because this would have been the first trip without him. And he goes, guys, what are you worried about? This is why I love my son. This is his mindset. What are y'all worried about? Papa's riding in the cloud car and he's
yeah.
gonna ride with us like he always did.
See,
And and it's things like that
there's
with
so
the
much more
kids'
perspective.
mentality. And this little
Perceptive.
girl talking about her dad, daddy, did you see me, daddy? And that's how this child's gonna grow up the rest of her life. Like,
Yeah.
having that is
That yeah. Are you
that
still
are
with
you
me? Are
with
you
me?
looking? And
And that
yeah,
as a parent, now it's that mom's job to tell that child, like, your father is always with you. Me and your daddy, you were created first of all in love, with love.
yeah.
And you're not just a part of me, but you got parts of daddy too. And then that's the mom's job to continuously to remind that child, like, he is with you. And
Yeah.
and again, and that in a positive way, I think will help out the child.
Oh, yeah. I mean, just to know always that they're with them, having the pictures, having the mementos, just
Hmm.
keeping the memory alive.
That's
And I
all about
think
it.
that that's easier when someone passes naturally. Whereas
Yeah.
when that person, for lack of a better way to put it, is jerked out of your life,
Yeah.
it's a sudden parting. It's not something that you had weeks and months and maybe even
Yeah.
years to prepare for,
Yeah.
but just you sent them to work and expected them to come back the next day and they didn't.
Yeah.
That's a different type of grief, and that's extremely
Mhm.
hard. It's the same thing when you lose a child.
Mhm.
Whether before I've lost 2 children during pregnancy.
Mhm.
And that's it's just there's so many different types of grief.
There is.
So many
Mhm.
different types of grief. And I think it's hard to process each and every one. I mean, I
Agreed.
I knew that my mom was going and I was fine with it. I told her to go, but there are still certain times where I'm just like, I really need my mom right now.
Yeah.
And I
Same.
have just been so blessed to have certain people step into that mom role. My mother's best friend, my Bonnie, which my son calls Grandma Bonnie. When my mom died, she just stepped right into those shoes. I would not have gotten through that. She's the one who settled the estate. She's the one who was there for me.
Yeah.
My mother's other friend, Minka, who is an incredible seventh grade teacher in South Carolina, which every kid had a teacher like her.
Yeah.
But she was also there for me. And And it's just, I mean, I think it's so important for those friends
Mhm.
of your loved one to step
Mhm.
in. And I've heard that from people that have lost teenagers in bad accidents. Just having those teenagers' friends come over and fill that
Yeah.
house with noise and be there and having someone to talk to
Yeah.
that also knew that child
Yeah.
and those memories. And then maybe now you're finally hearing the stories about the time that your kid lit a haystack on fire. And now it's
Right.
like, oh,
Like,
now you're not bad. It's like, okay. Um, but it's just it's hard to process.
It
It is.
is.
And I can't, I mean, and the thing is with September 11th, we're still losing people. I mean, yeah, we lost what was it, over 2,000 that day,
Yeah.
but there are so many that are still dying on a yearly basis of cancer or
Something from the
suicide.
breathing of the smoke.
Yeah,
There's a
it's
whole
the
thing.
asbestos in that thing has just been taking people out. One of the most moving photos that I've always seen is the lady that was walking down the street completely covered in dust, head to toe, and she passed a couple of years ago of cancer. And she fought so hard, so valiantly, but I mean,
And they're
all of that
still
dust is
fighting for
just
those rights
asbestos.
for all those people
Oh,
because,
yeah.
and I can't remember the actor that's really big on it right now off
It's
the top.
Gary Sinise,
Thank you.
phenomenal man.
And with that said, well, I want us to talk a lot about Tunnels to Tower because they do a lot for these
Yeah.
people that we're talking about. So, for example, I just saw this posted actually on the Facebook page. Tunnels to Tower is proud to announce that they're delivering over 20 mortgage-free homes to fallen first responder families.
Yeah.
And so, and that's just the tip of the iceberg of what Tunnels to Tower does for these folks. And, you know, I don't think there's ever a good price point. Like, how much is someone's life really worth?
Right. I
It's
mean, there's
really hard to say,
yeah.
Let me let Tim in because we
Um,
locked the door on him.
But it's just you can't put a price point on life. You're fine. You got a shout out and everything. It's fine. um
Go ahead. What were you
oh,
saying?
the other thing that Tunnels to Towers does is that our veterans who come home not the way that they left, um, either mentally or physically,
Mhm.
they provide homes, wheelchair accessible homes, disability friendly homes where like the cabinets are where they can reach them or there's just a bunch of different things, and that's also very important because I mean they go off to war and they fight and they come home and then they're still fighting, but now they're fighting for the benefits that they earned, that they were promised. I've got a good friend of mine right now that's still fighting, not with the military, with our US government. The military has declared him disabled, but the government is having an extremely hard time realizing that. Even though the military says, yeah, we broke this one. The government's like, yeah, but how broken is he? I'm like, really broken.
Yeah, you gotta
Um,
take care of these people that served our
yeah,
country, that has served that their life was, they put other people's lives ahead of them
yes,
is essentially
yeah.
what we need
And
to be proud about.
I mean, when you're putting them in a dangerous situation, putting them around dangerous materials, having them work around fire pits, or not fire pits, burn pits, which is what he worked around, or like Agent Orange, or I mean, there's something with every single war where they're around something they shouldn't be around, but
Mhm.
they're a soldier. They follow orders because that's
Yeah,
what you do,
exactly.
and they have this misconceived notion um, that they're going to come home and they're gonna be taken care of, and they're not. And the thing is nobody ever talks about the spouses. I
Mm-mm.
mean, everybody always thanks the veteran. Thank the spouses. My gosh. I mean, can you imagine you spend months and years worrying about your child, kind of
Yeah.
like it's a child.
Yeah.
Well, sometimes it's your child, but anyway, your
Yeah.
spouse, and then they come home and they're not the person that you sent over there.
Mhm.
And you've got to put them back together and the patience of Job. And
I know.
I can't even imagine.
Yeah.
Um,
But we
but
have talked a lot today.
we have. Oh, we got to do that.
No, it's okay. I'm gonna put it in our newsletters.
Okay.
So
Well, I'm at least going to give a shout out. Our Pioneer Battalion
okay.
Raider team had a meet this last weekend and did an incredible job. We're going to put
They
all of the
did.
specific
Specifics.
details in the newsletter, but they did a great job and we just want to go ahead and give them a shout out and say congratulations. You did great.
We're so proud of you guys, and
Yeah.
we're gonna give you so much love here at Warren First.
The Raider team is incredible. incredible. If you
Mhm.
guys have never gone to a meet, if you've never seen what they can do, let me tell you something. My daughter was on the Raider team, and she was like this big around, itty bitty. I mean, just the amount of physical stuff that they do. I'm watching guys flipping tired truck tires. I mean, or
Oh,
tractor
yeah.
tires.
Yeah,
And
it's
I mean,
crazy.
it's a lot of physical endurance. And
Mhm.
First Sergeant Howard does an incredible job with those
He is
kids.
a great asset to the Warren County High School team.
Yes.
School. I hope he stays there as long as he can.
Me too. Me
Because people
too.
not like him are few and far between.
Yeah.
But with that said, is there anything else we need to tap on?
We're just going to talk about the schedule.
We're gonna talk about the fair.
We didn't finish saying. So Brian Carr said that National Voter Registration Day is going to be on the grassy lot, which is the
Yes.
one over here by the fountain.
Yeah.
As a nonpartisan effort with the Warren County, Tennessee Election Commission on Tuesday, September 17th from 11 to 5.
There you go. And then lastly, of course, and I want to say thanks for coming in and helping me. Thanks for everybody actually that came in this morning. Shout out to Lisa Zavianis coming out, talking about the upcoming election in October 19th for I have so many
Caney
dates
Fork.
for Caney Fork Board of Directors. And again, so in this election for the Warren County, there's one seat up for grabs, which it's actually the original seat for Bobby Love. When he passed away, the board voted in Glenn Mitchell, and he's been running that position for almost a year now. And with that said, now he has to run a campaign as well as she does to get voted in by the members, aka the customers of Caney Fork Electric. So, with that said, mark your calendars for October the 19th, as that is going to be the upcoming vote. So if you, like Lisa said, if you're, she said nothing against Mr. Mitchell. She said, he's a real nice guy. But if you want some change, good
I
luck.
missed it.
It's right there.
Sorry.
It's right there.
I see it.
It's a huge one.
It's huge. He's been in here for a
Yeah,
minute.
for a hot minute. But with that said, if you want change, go out and make sure you vote.
Absolutely.
If even if you don't want change, still vote. I have to say
Yeah.
that. But of course we're going to wrap it up talking about the Warren County A&L Fair. And tonight is Wednesday night.
Yes.
So
Well,
hit it,
let's see.
Melody.
So this morning is Special Needs Day from 10 till noon
Oh.
at the grandstands. Shout out to Holly McBride.
She does a phenomenal job.
Oh my gosh, she is an angel on earth. The way that she loves and cares for these kids and fights for these kids.
Mhm.
And I will say, she impresses me. I don't know what magic power she has been blessed with and bestowed.
If I could get a
but-
little cup of that ambition she's got.
Right. I mean, it's unreal. She could sit there and go onto Facebook at 10 o'clock on a 102 hot July day and go, I need a penguin. And within 2 hours, she'd have one up there at the enrichment center. I don't understand that. It's so impressive. I'm just like, teach me your ways, oh wise one. It's wild.
Yeah.
But anyway, so she's got her special needs day today.
Mm-hmm.
And then the family and consumer judging is happening from 3:30 to 4:30 at the courthouse. I don't know what that is.
Okay.
Petting zoo opens from 5 to 9 tonight. Y'all, they got a fennec fox up there you can hold for $5. Oh, I am all over.
We're gonna go there Friday to check out the petting zoo.
Yeah. I just need somebody to take my picture holding this fox.
I'll do it.
I love fennec foxes. They're so cute. And they got wallabies in there, which are like kangaroos, but not as jacked and not as mean.
Okay.
They're really cute. But it's good selection of animals in the petting zoo this year. So definitely stop by. They do a great job over there. The poultry judging is tonight from 5:30 to 6:30. And the rides open from 6 to 10 o'clock.
Okay.
And
then of course tonight is the community worship service tonight at the big grandstands.
Yes.
At 6 o'clock. So if you don't want to miss church, or if you're there working, take a break at 6 o'clock and go enjoy some amazing gospel time with the group that's going to come out there.
And if nothing else, please go get dinner from these organizations. We've got some great organizations cooking up. McMinnville Special Games has got their booth. I don't know who's running it today. she's had, like I said, she's magic. She's had different organizations volunteering their time to serve food. But the band,
Yep.
and the choir,
Yeah.
select choir, have
All
both got
the yep.
booths.
All the
Home.
churches have places.
Yes.
Team Legacy's got a booth this year. It's the
Really?
purple and black booth. It's so nice.
Oh, I'm
Have you
gonna have to
not
go.
seen Legacy's food booth?
Look, y'all, I'm working on it. I've mainly been sticking to the.
You've been sticking to the grandstands in the village. That's what you've been.
I
And speaking
did.
of some talented people we have the award-winning fudge lady queen
Yes,
right
I won
here.
awards.
She did this year. And so if you want some of that award-winning fudge, what fudge, Melody, do you have in the country store?
So it's Gypsy Soul Fudge. Mine are the ones in the plastic container, and it's a half a pound of fudge. It's
That's a
it's a
lot.
chunk of fudge, and it's $10, which is the
That's
same
not
price.
bad at all.
No, that's the same price you're gonna pay in Gatlinburg, but mine is homemade, and you're not traveling there to get it.
Mhm. And what flavors do you have to
We have
offer?
chocolate and we
Mhm.
have peanut butter. We have a chocolate peanut butter. So there's a chocolate square and a peanut butter square. So you can do your own chocolate to peanut butter ratio. And then we have cotton candy, root beer float, bubble gum, and caramel apple and orange saltwater taffy, which to me tastes like an orange dreamsicle. So,
Okay.
but yeah, so and that's
I
all
love
in
that.
there.
And she's
And
award winning. I want to say that because it's just so neat when you hear
I
that.
know. I've never done that before, but
Yeah.
yeah, that caramel apple fudge took second place in the fudge competition, and it's pretty darn good.
Well,
So I'm
there
trying
you
not to
go.
eat my own stash over here, but it's really
I love
good.
it. I love it.
But that country store, those baked goods are out of control this year.
They
Everything
are.
is packed. The cooler is packed. I'm like, they're like, we have no more room. I'm like, we need somebody to donate another container or case
I
over
know.
there and build a bigger building. Build them a bigger building. There's my
Yeah.
words.
But with that said, as my phone is ringing, I'll just have to call her back. Hopefully it's nothing bad or not crazy going on. But thank you for coming on the show. We're actually going to go to Cumberland, I think, to eat some eggs. I need some eggs.
It's Monday morning. It's Wednesday.
Are they? Oh my God, I'm such a day
I know.
ahead.
I
I said this morning, Sammy Kershaw's going to be at the stage. And I'm like, no.
You're trying to push this week through. I hope that
am.
show does not get rained out. I really do
Oh
hope
my-
not.
I will say this, that there always is a backup plan in case of rain. Because I was talking to Trent, that is over the sound. And if it does rain, there's always a backup plan.
Okay, well, good.
Okay,
As
and
long as
that's
it doesn't
with
come up a monsoon.
that is with the Sammy Kershaw. That is also with the adult karaoke. And I think that's it off the top of
Well,
my
I'm
head.
hoping. I was talking to Ryan Moore last
And
night.
Saturday night with Night
Um,
Sun.
Friday night they've got all of the kids, the community kids coming. So I'm hoping it doesn't rain because I'm afraid they'll have to. Well, they really should be shutting down the rides if it's raining.
Well, they will be.
I
shutting
used to
down the
work
rides.
amusement park rides. I know a thing or two, which is why I don't like riding those rides. But so I'm really hoping it doesn't rain on Friday because I don't want to ruin that. Those kids look forward to that every single year.
And with that said, though, everybody just say a prayer, give Mother Nature a hug, say, hold off.
Yeah, go over there for a minute.
Yeah, we don't need you yet. Wait till like Sunday.
Yeah.
Sunday.
You can rain all next week.
Yeah. We've enjoyed this like fake fall weather.
Yes.
Because
It was hot last night, but yeah.
Because sweater weather is almost
Sweater weather.
Sweater weather. I think we should do that as a podcast.
It'll be so much fun.
We have to wear our crazy sweaters. Anyways,
It's
with
my
that
favorite.
said, take care. God bless. Enjoy the rest of your day. I don't know what we're gonna eat for breakfast. David needs to get here and make us food at this point.
He doesn't come until 10:30.
I
We got another
know.
30, 45 minutes.
We do. But with that said, thanks for everybody coming in. Lisa Zavianis, my good friend Melody Krim here.
Bye.
And like I said, after I get off the show, be listening for a huge announcement I'm trying to get done on Friday morning. I'm trying to work on something with the fair. So with that said, take care. God bless. And I'll see y'all later. Bye, guys. Thanks, Brian. Thank you.